fucking ugly. Oh, boys. Yeah, that's really bright. Come on, Cat, hurry up. Hello, my name's Ben Bowers, and I have decided to challenge myself for the next year to try and raise some money for charity and to see whether I've actually got the capability of sticking it out. I used to work for a couple of drinks companies. I managed a whisky shop in York, and I've also worked for one of the biggest drinks companies in the world. So I'm very interested in drinks and whisky in particular, but I've been out of the game for a while, and in an effort to try and get back into it and challenge myself with something I love and hopefully raise bucket loads of cash for a very worthwhile charity. I am going to try and sample 366 different whiskies in the course of a year. So these are the rules. Number 1. From Burns Night 2016, which is Monday, January 25th, which at the time of recording is next week, to Burns Night 2017, which is also January 25th, I will attempt to sample and review the equivalent of 1 dram a day. So that's 366 different whiskies. 2. The sample will be a 25 cl measure only. Normal measures that you'll find in a bar is now 35 ml, but a single unit of alcohol, according to legislation, is 25 millimeters of a spirit. This is a miniature bottle. Miniatures normally hold 50 mils, so it's half a miniature. It's not an awful lot. Number 3. No ice will be used whatsoever. I'm going to go into this in a bit of detail later on. There is a very good reason for not using ice. In fact, there's 2 good reasons for not using ice. One is it affects the way that you can actually taste the whiskey, because it can numb some of the parts on your tongue, which means you're not tasting it properly. And 2, big physics lesson, or is it chemistry? One or the other. Ice melts, so you're getting more and more water into your drink as you're drinking it. So no ice whatsoever. Number 4. I'm going to sample the whiskies in what's called a Glencairn glass. It's kind of the official whiskey glass, and this is one of them. It's specially shaped. Ooh, check out the glinting in the sunshine. It's middle of January and we've got gorgeous sunshine. No snow though, which is a shame. Anyway, and this is filthy. Regardless, this has been designed specifically for tasting whiskey. It's big enough to hold a shot, but it's not too massive, like a classic tumbler. But it's also slightly tapered so that the vapours go to the top and you get more of a smell. Vapours in that will just kind of go over the side and go everywhere. So wherever possible, I will be sampling the whiskey using one of these. Number 5. Wherever possible, sample what will be considered the core product of each distillery and or brand. For example, Balvenie have a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 15-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 21-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 30-year-old, and a whole load of other finishes and stuff like that. Ideally, sample 1, the 10-year-old of the Balvenie, or 10-year-old Eagle Rare, or Bell's, or anything like that. What will be considered the core product from each separate distillery and or brand. If I'm getting towards the end of the challenge and I'm 300 down and I'm really struggling to find brand new products, this rule can be waived and I can start doing some ages or wood finishes, but it has to be a last resort, okay? Cool. Number 6. No water is to be used in the sampling. I'm not to add water to the sample that I am given. However, if the whiskey is cask strength or over, say, 50% ABV, then I can add a couple of drops of water, but only once I've tasted it first and then adding water. If you've got a 40% whiskey, more often than not, that will have had water added to it already. If I add any more water to that, technically I'm not then drinking whiskey. Number 7. No more than 4 samples will be sampled in the same day. Legislation has recently changed here in the UK where the recommendation is that you drink no more than 14 units in a week. Works out at 2 units per day. I want to try and get an average of 1 dram sampled per day, but in order to avoid issues, or if I'm running out of time, or if I know something's going on in the next couple of days and I'm not going to have much of a chance, then I'd like to be able to have a little bit of a buffer while I'm going through the year. So I may well sample 2 or 3 whiskies on the same day, but no more than 4. To be honest, I can't really handle my drink that well anyway. I get big headaches. Don't get drunk, but just the morning after, not nice at all. So I'm limiting myself to 4 samples per day. Number 8. Link to that, I'm going to sample no more than 10 in a week. It's 10 units in a week that I would be having. I'd still be under the UK recommendations, but I might want a beer every now and again, which would be a couple of units. Plus, I don't think it would be too healthy if I did any more than that anyway. Number 9, under no circumstances drive a car after you've been sampling the whiskey, Ben. You're not an idiot. You're a bit of an idiot, but you're not that kind of idiot that drinks and drives. Number 10, which I think is the final one, I will provide video evidence for every whiskey that I have sampled through the course of the challenge by videoing it on this or possibly my iPod, depending on where I am. I am setting up a YouTube channel on a Dram A day. I'll probably see if I can get the address on a title when I'm editing it and just put it kind of there, or maybe there. Anyway, I'll have a YouTube channel. I'll put the videos on that as and when I'm going through it and number them, and hopefully you'll be able to see a progression of how I'm getting on. Those are the rules. I have a Just Giving page. I am trying to raise money for the Children's Heart Surgery Fund. They have been quite important in the life of my 5-year-old daughter's best friend at school, and it seems like a worthwhile charity to try and make some money for while I'm doing this daft challenge. My Just Giving page is www.justgiving.com/adramaday, adramaday, all one word. I also have a blog at adramaday.tumblr.com. The address will be somewhere on the screen, somewhere like that. I'll also have a Twitter feed at Dram A day, as and when I can update that and put bits and pieces on. On the blog, I'll hopefully set up a page where I've got a list of all the whiskey brands and distilleries that I've managed to find off Wikipedia, so that's probably a load of rubbish anyway. But if you can check that out, if you have any samples, literally it's like less than that I need of each particular one. It's not a lot, I'm not asking for a lot, I'm asking for that, and cash donations to the charity. But if you've got any of them lying around in the cupboard and you can spare 25 mils, it's not a lot, 25 mils that I can add to my collection to get me through to that 366 number, that would be much appreciated. So if you've got whiskey and you're willing to donate that, fantastic. If you've got money and you're willing to donate that to my fund, that's even more fantastic. Double thumbs up if you can do both. Nice one. And I will be back with first whiskey next week. January 25th will be the first one. Might even do 2 or 3 to give myself a head start. Okay, bye!